We're getting to the middle of the college football season, and it's finally time for some flips. So in today's video, I'm going to give you an update around the Dawson Merritt recruitment and why I'm feeling a little bit optimistic that things are turning in Nebraska's favor. And spoiler alert, some turmoil is going down in Tuscaloosa with Alabama. We'll get into it. We have a lot to talk about. So before I begin, make sure to hit that like button. If you're pumped up about Nebraska recruiting, I know I am. Hit that like button. Hey, if you're new to the channel or just a returning viewer, make sure to subscribe. I post daily Nebraska football content, but more importantly, I post recruiting content just like this. So if you're a diehard fan, make sure to subscribe. You will be thanking yourself that you did. But without further ado, let's get into it. Talking about Dawson Merritt and his recruitment. Of course, I had him on the channel about a month ago at this point, talking about Nebraska, where he stands with the Huskers. He's still considering the Big Red. Of course, he visited for that Colorado game. But ever since then, it's been radio silent. Nobody's really talking about his recruitment, what's going on there. So I'm going to inform you why, honestly, I still feel really good about Nebraska's odds at flipping him. So let's begin with it. Well, he recently visited Tuscaloosa for the Alabama-Georgia game. Of course, we all saw how that went down. Alabama got it done. And after that game, I felt really pessimistic. Dawson Merritt, it's really hard to decommit from a school that just took down the #1 team in America. Well, we saw what happened the next week. They lose to Vanderbilt on the road. A lot of people are calling for Kalen DeBoer's head. A lot of people are calling for numerous coaches' heads. And then they almost lose to South Carolina the very next week at the crib. And you know what's been going on right now in Alabama Twitter? They want to fire their defensive coordinator, Kane Womack. Of course, you just look up his name here. Everybody on Alabama Twitter, not a big fan of this guy. He's been the #1, basically, guy on the hot seat around the country. They want this guy to be fired. You know what's interesting about Kane Womack? He is also the linebackers coach at Alabama. So if he is fired, not only are they losing their defensive coordinator, they're losing the guy that primarily recruited Dawson Merritt. I'm not saying he's going to be fired. Actually, I bet he isn't. But just the fact that Dawson Merritt's hearing all this stuff. He's hearing that, a lot of Alabama fans are not happy with Kalen DeBoer. He's hearing that a lot of Alabama fans actively want their defensive coordinator to get fired. Okay. And then he's going over to the Nebraska spheres, and we're celebrating winning. We're going 5-1, and we're in the mix for the Big Ten. I'm just saying. Okay, and he said in my interview, of course, going back to that, he said that he still really likes Nebraska because that coaching staff stays in communication. He loves the culture with the Huskers, and he loves that Nebraska is very close to home. Alabama's not close to home. So you add all these factors in, and you add in the fact that Nebraska's coaching situation, their stability is a lot higher than Alabama's, that Nebraska's on the up. A lot of people around the country would argue that Alabama is on the down, right? It's hard to live up to Nick Saban's legacy. It's hard to live up to what he did. Okay, a lot of Alabama fans don't think Kalen DeBoer's the guy. I personally think Kalen DeBoer's a good coach. I don't think he's going to win a national championship at Alabama because he's not Nick Saban level. Now, am I saying Nebraska's going to win a national title? Absolutely not. But the trajectories of the program are completely opposite. Alabama is on the down. Nebraska's on the up. So it just goes back to what Dawson Merritt wants from the program. Okay, does he want to be different? Does he want to, blaze his own trail? A lot of the reasons he committed to Alabama was because they win and they bring guys to the NFL. Well, Nebraska is starting to win, and they're starting to bring a lot of guys to the NFL. They're going to have about 6 or 7 guys drafted this year. I truly believe it. I'm just saying. But it goes down to winning at the end of the day. Okay, there's a lot of reasons Dawson Merritt likes Nebraska. There's a lot of reasons he likes Alabama. Alabama's going to struggle the rest of the season. I mean, let's just pull up their schedule going forward for the Crimson Tide because they really do have a tough schedule. They did struggle against South Carolina. But if we look at the future, again, they play Tennessee this week. Who knows what happens there? Let's say that's a loss. They play Missouri. They play LSU. They play Oklahoma. They play Auburn. There is a very good likelihood Alabama loses 2, maybe 3 of those ball games. Nebraska, on the other hand, has a trajectory of winning 9-10 games. So you're looking at 2 programs. One's on the down, one's on the up. One coach is on the hot seat. One is being praised. I think that's going to turn Dawson Merritt's head, but again, it goes back to winning. That's what he cares about. He cares about winning. He cares about going to the next level. He cares about being developed at a high level. Other than that, Nebraska checks all the boxes. We check the culture box. We check the fit box. We check the playing time box. We check the location box. We don't necessarily check the winning box or NFL box just yet. But wait until we potentially win 7-8 games. So again, we'll see what happens here in this Dawson Merritt recruitment. A lot of time between now and signing day. We have about 2.5 months. But if Nebraska can pull out 8-9 wins, I do think we flip him at the end of the day because I think his heart is here. I think he wants to stay home. So that's what I'd say around the Dawson Merritt recruitment. Again, I don't have a source here. This isn't coming straight from Dawson. If you want to see something coming straight from Dawson, watch that interview. This is just my hunch. Again, I don't expect him to flip anytime soon. Probably after the season. But again, it goes on to winning. If you win, you'll flip him. If we don't win, and we only win maybe 6-7 games, we're probably not going to get him. That is what I'm going to tell you about the Dawson Merritt situation. But the fact that Alabama's coach and defensive coordinator and guy that's recruited him is on the hot seat only helps Nebraska's odds. So that's why I made this video, to inform you guys on that. All right, guys, let me know down below what are your thoughts about this Dawson Merritt situation, specifically with this defensive coordinator. Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far in the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, folks, go Big Red, go Rhule, and see you in the next one.